Hello and welcome. I am Sable of Sable.io, and I started a new D&D campaign, and I wanted to make a video summarizing the events. So this is going to be a summary of the first session we had. If this does well, I probably will make more. I'm going to be taking notes the entire time anyways, so... Anyways, let's get to the story. The party wakes up in Stonehenge-like ruins. We don't know how we got here, or who everyone here is. All we know is that a giant tree just walked in from the Stonehenges and started talking to us. This tree's name is Shrubs. Shrubs has us introduce ourselves to the party.
Yes, we also have pets, but they don't really come into the story right now, and no one told me what their pets were, so I can't really draw them.
The first person to introduce themselves is Crystal. Crystal's just a dude in a robe and a white mask right now. Next is Amaru, the most average-looking dude you could ever run into, except for the fact that there's something just a bit off about him. Next is Rose, the human who's a little insane. Then there's Gordon the dwarf, whose player would not give me a description of the character, so he's a 404 message. Now for the elves. Moonbeam is the first to introduce herself, and she's this rather tall, blue-skinned elf. Not exactly a drow, but definitely looks a lot like one. And then there's Elise, more normal-looking elf. Lastly, there is the Dragonborn Kraphos. And no, we did not say what our classes were, so I don't know them. Shrubs informs us that he knows the way out, and runs in between two of the stones, just to appear right back into the center. However, Shrubs is no longer awakened. He's just a normal tree, except for the fact that there is a door on him. Rosa walks up to the once Shrub's door and knocks on it, and a little 1-foot-tall pixie answers the door. Pixie's in this ranger getup and introduces himself as Pixin. Pixin wakes up everybody's pets and then has a sudden realization that we shouldn't have been summoned for another year. Apparently, people get summoned here every 10 years through these cocoon-looking things, and it just so happens that we have a 10-year memory gap. Pixin informs us that it is now year 100 of Fallen Gods, and invites us into his home. In Pixin's house, we see maps of the 5 islands that we are going to be on. They're all heavily forested, and there's only one beach. On that beach is a marked shipwreck. There is one other piece of paper, however, and it only has a single question mark on it. Pixin explains to us that where we are right now cannot be mapped because every map of it just disappears. Rosa asks Pixin about the maps and the ship. Turns out that the ship that's wrecked is actually the exact same ship that Rosa ended up coming here on. This is her ship. Pixin gives us back all of our weapons and supplies us with what we will need for the adventure ahead, whatever it may be. Rosa asks if we can have the maps so she can find her ship again, and Pixin graciously gives us the maps. However, as soon as we bring the maps out of Pixin's home, they begin disappearing until they are entirely gone. The only thing left on any of the pieces of paper was on the single piece of paper with the question mark on it. The single question mark has now turned into a sentence. It says, "You play my game, so you cannot escape until it's done." In anger, Rosa tries to set the maps on fire. They don't work. Amaru shoots a firebolt at the maps. Still doesn't work. And then Moonbeam casts Mending on the maps. And the one piece of paper that still has words on it says, "Oh, you shouldn't have done that." A whirl of ghostly papers fly in from nowhere, attacking Moonbeam and making all of the rest of us need to make dex saves so we don't get cut up by them. Moonbeam is knocked out and then possessed. We can see a grimoire in her hands. Of course, she can't see it, but she begins to read from it. Luckily, one of our party, Crystal, knows Abyssal and can stop her before she reads the line of the book that would enslave her to the demon inside of it. Crystal then takes the grimoire from her and casts a binding spell to himself. Miraculously, it doesn't kill him, and Crystal obtains the grimoire. The grimoire is home to a demon of knowledge that grants Crystal true sight. Everything's just about ready for us to set off. However, Moonbeam is upset that she didn't get to keep the book and tries to steal Rosa's diary. This does not go over well. Rosa attacks Moonbeam, and Crystal has to take the book back from Moonbeam and give it to Rosa to continue the adventure. Pixin touches one of the stones and they all sink into the ground. We are allowed to cross, but as soon as we do, we are teleported to a beach with a destroyed ship.
And that's where I'm going to have to leave it. I actually recorded the entire story, but did not figure out how long it was until I started trying to draw it. This is about the halfway point of the session anyways. So, next time, I'll finish the story. Anyways, I hope you have a good day, night, whatever time it is, wherever you are.